in the fruits, but I mean you can see that there's still plenty of vitality in here, right? But they were running out of juice. So what? I mean I would say that you still have plenty, a good level of vitality in these plants, and they will happily keep fruiting. But they went through a dip where they ran out of gas for a while.
Definitely.
And that's the kind of thing. Those are the management things about water and about conductivity and stuff like that. That if you can keep them going, I mean, this is my experience. Is these guys will keep growing, and they're vines.
Yeah, new squash is coming in.
They've got tons of flowers. And
It's a comeback.
they're far from dead.
Now, if you were harvesting in that time, would you cut the waning foliage off so the plant could just keep concentrating on putting out good foliage and
actually,
more flowers?
We did this when I did this course yesterday in New Hampshire. We had a similar case to this with zucchini, and the guy Mike Lombard, who some of you guys might know, had been trying to keep his zucchini. He was like, "Well, I'm going to give." He gave them some sea minerals, spray with some sea minerals, and the zucchini were, you could, from 50 feet away, it was striking the rich dark green of all the leaves. And he said that they had been starting to turn, and he decided to actively, give them a little boost, and they all turned right back. So so these guys are right. I mean, this is too late.
Right. All right.
But this is not too late.
But that's not too late.
So it has all that other stuff.
Is that's mildew though?
This is powdery mildew,
Yeah.
and I've seen this. I mean, last year I saw this happen where the leaves. I mean, they went
White.
they went white, but then they came back.
But look at the bottom ones; they don't have it.
This is the new leaves. This is the end. If you see it, you see the plant here.
Oh, look.
It's a vine, right? And it just keeps going. And this is one of the problems with this. If you want to keep them going, is you basically need to trellis them. Because they will be 6 or 8 feet long, and if you plant them every 18 inches or every 24 inches like you usually do, it's impossible to get through. It turns into a, like winter squash does, it turns into an unholy mess. But I think this is the principle of maintained continuous growth.
So we would put down a foliar, spray these.
Well, you need to decide whether you want to keep them alive or not. If you've got,
Why not?
one of wants to keep them alive, but.
Yeah, look, they're telling us they want to be alive. Look, they have
They still have plenty of juice left,
Yeah.
and if you keep them going, they will keep going. So I'm assuming you've got other plantings somewhere else that you're harvesting off of.
This was our second planting. You'll see our first planting is even further gone.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean this is definitely, totally
water and feed.
has juice left to it. I mean they've got plenty of energy left. They were running out. Whatever the environmental conditions were that were causing them to run out was what we would normally say this is normal.
So does this mean that they have that they actually have something that they need because they're doing this, or would they just poop completely if they didn't have access to minerals and energy? Well, they probably got a lot of water, right?
They got water.
4 inches of rain.
And
water
so
was the big thing.
and so everything that was resident, the battery you guys have been building for a couple of years, was able to get recharged because it was running out of electrolyte. I mean, the minerals were there, the biology was there, but everything had been shutting down because of a lack of water. But this type of growth, this is normal as far as I'm concerned. This is to be expected, and they shouldn't. And cucumbers will do the same thing, and tomatoes will do the same thing. I mean, we can go look at the tomatoes in a minute, but this is a case where, I mean, it's one of those weak acid soil tests. Might be a very valuable experience. $25 to figure out what it is that they're running out of. I would suggest, across the board, there's a few things to look for. I think we talked about last course. One is when fruits are, you said you pick 500 pounds per picking, so you're picking 1,500 pounds a week of squash out of this section right here.
Includes another section
Okay.
which is now a little further gone, but yeah.
A significant amount of volume, and potassium especially is one of those minerals that it gets used up in fruit. And so I would guess that the potassium would be a limiting factor. We talked about the leaf size, and when the leaf size, if the plant leaf, the size of the leaf is uniform across the plant, when it's not uniform, that's a sign of calcium deficiency availability. So if we start to see smaller leaves at the ends, than initially were there. I mean, at some point these are new leaves and they haven't fully filled out yet. But oftentimes you will see that they will be smaller than the original ones were. They shouldn't be. They should keep being big. So that would be a calcium one. But again, calcium we know is boron also. I think this is a good case where a tissue analysis and a weak acid soil test can keep a crop alive for significantly longer. You've already got them here. They've already got structure. They've already got root systems. You know, $50 in materials can give you $500 in crops.
So next you need to feed the farmers so the farmers can keep working. Now that the plants are going forever.
That's the problem, is we run out of juice and say, you know what, I've picked enough squash this year. I don't feel like...
Our members are rebelling. They're saying,
exactly.
No more.
So then you have, that's your cost benefit analysis of the whole picture you need to integrate. But the point is that there's no reason that these need to die.
Yeah.
And I suspect that's exactly what's going on over here with the tomatoes. We can go look.